Yo, guys, what's up? Russ here. I'm here with Mr. Gretzky, who was kind enough to send me an AOK. I think that's live. Okay. It froze a little bit.
Oh,
They changed some stuff on StreamYard. It's a little. I haven't streamed in like almost 3 months, and they changed like everything just about on here.
oh yeah, that's what I've heard, and I've heard it gone up in price a little bit.
Yeah, I was looking at like a thing came up showing me like a basic plan, and it said like four
Yeah,
hundred and thirty something dollars for the year. And I was like, nah, man, I'll stick with the free plan. 430 a year
that's
for
crazy.
basic is like diabolical. We had a couple people in the chat earlier. John's Comics with Kids popped in, the Great Legend Show, and Troy's Reviews. If you guys are still here, what's up? Having a few technical difficulties here. But like I said, it's been like almost 3 months since I streamed, so I'm a little bit like behind on the newest upgrades. Hopefully the audio is good. What's up, Troy? All right, I guess let's jump in. I made sure the address is on
Alrighty.
the inside of the box so nothing is showing. Figure out the best way to cut the tape on this. Hopefully YouTube don't
Not
cancel my
really. I
stream for
mean,
having a
just
dangerous weapon here.
yeah.
It probably is dangerous in my hands. I'm a little bit accident prone.
Oh,
I almost cut the tip of my thumb off one time just cutting up some sweet potatoes in the kitchen.
yeah. That's not good.
Let me put this down before I hurt myself. Yo, Signature King popped in here and Bottom Tier Collector. What's going on, guys? This thing is super taped up.
Oh yeah. I like to reuse my boxes. When I get a box, I reuse it.
Oh yeah. So let me do it just one thing at a time. Oh dang, bro. Got an awesome Action Comics here. Issue 296. That is a killer cover. I love these old Silver Age books. That's awesome, brother. Thank you. I'm gonna have to save this box, man. I can use that. Yo, Jackson, what's going on, man? I think Mr. Gretzky might have froze a little bit. I'll show this book one more time. Oh, I lost him. That is awesome, dude. There we go. That's a killer book, brother. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh dang, what is this? Oh man, that's killer. That's it looks like hardback trade paperbacks of Superman 78 and Batman 89. That's awesome, man. It looks like almost like an old style VHS cassette tape on the cover.
Oh, crap.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I was
He froze. There he
man,
is.
I'm not 100% sure who this character is.
That is from the animated show Captain N and the Game Masters. That is Simon Belmont from Castlevania 2.
Oh
That's
man,
a cell. That's an animation cell that is overlaid on the white paper, so it's attached to the white paper, so you can frame it, do whatever you want with it.
dude, that's awesome. I'll definitely get that in a frame, man. Oh, there's a note here. I should have got that first. My bad. There's packing materials. I didn't see the note till last. Is it cool to read the note or?
Yeah, you can read it if you want.
Okay. Well, it just says, thanks for being a good friend and a great person. The say okay is for you and your B-Day. Oh, thanks, dude. That's sincerely,
No
Mr.
problem.
Gretzky. That's an awesome AOK, brother. Gotta make sure nothing falls over there. Thank you, dude.
No problem.
I gotta open this up.
The book.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love these. I love that they did these old stories again with Christopher Reeve and Michael Keaton. That's
Oh
like the
yeah,
origins of why I got into like comics. It's funny because Michael Keaton in 1989, that was like the first Batman movie I ever saw. I was 9 years old when it came out, and I didn't see like the older stuff with Adam West until like a few years later, till after the animated series came on in like '92. So
mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton was like my first exposure to Batman, and Christopher Reeve was the first time I ever saw Superman. That pretty much kicked off and made sure I was like a nerd for life right there.
Yeah. I think it was mostly for me. It was mostly the Flash TV show from 1990.
Oh yeah, with John Wesley Shipp.
Yeah, that was the one that I remember watching like religiously every week. I watched that and everything, and I loved that show. And then I was sad it was canceled, but I bought it on DVD, so I own it on DVD. I got it real cheap at Best Buy,
Oh nice.
so got that. And then I got a couple of, and that's what got me into the Trickster was Mark Hamill playing the Trickster on there, and it got me going, and that's why I ended up buying my first appearance of the Trickster. Then I ended up
Oh
at
nice.
HeroesCon selling that to Andy.
I don't know. Did you ever watch the new Flash series? Mark
Yeah,
Hamill was on one or two episodes as the trickster again on that show. I can't
yeah,
remember what
watched
season.
it. probably up till, I don't even remember how many seasons they actually went, but I watched probably maybe the first 4, maybe 5 seasons.
I think that's about where I quit watching, 4 or 5. But
yeah, I think
awesome.
after that, I didn't really watch Arrow, so I didn't have anything about Arrow, so I didn't watch that show. And I watched Legends of Tomorrow. I watched most of that series.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
But yeah, but they ended up canceling that eventually, and that. But yeah, and then the Flash ended, I think, after 8 or 9 seasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Arrow was
right
good for
around the
like the
time
first 2
COVID
seasons.
happened, and they pushed back the series, and that I think that was about the time that I started not really watching the last couple of seasons of it, and that's I was like in and out of it for that point.
The actual hardcover underneath the slipcover looks like an old VHS tape.
Yeah, that's what got me. I was like looking at that. I was like, man, because Magic Lasso had told me he had read the Superman one.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know these hardcovers existed, man.
I didn't either until I was flipping through Amazon, and there it was, popped up, and I was like, huh, I don't remember this being released. And then I looked at it, and it was
Oh yeah.
Vendetti who wrote the Superman one, and then the Batman one was written by somebody else. I think it was written by the guy who wrote the script, Sam
Oh yeah.
Hamm. Yeah, Sam Hamm, I think, wrote the Batman one
That's awesome.
with another guy, so they both wrote that one, and another guy drew it or something. Yeah.
Looking forward to reading this because
So
I
there's
never I
information
never
out there.
finished the Batman series. I only had the first 4 issues, so I don't know how it ended.
Yeah. Because Batman in general, I mean, they actually had, I saw somewhere where they had a guy, what did he do? He did they did the Batman series, the movies actually. There was a leak, it's been leaked out there, I guess, what the third Batman movie would have looked like
Oh yeah.
differently if you would have had Burton on it again, what Tim Burton's version would have looked like.
I love the art in the back, the little extras. That looks awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff.
The concepts and stuff of the characters.
Oh yeah, it's like all kinds of stuff that they go back and they do different things, and you think, oh, that's cool. That's the kind of stuff I like. I like that kind of stuff where it's like reimagining what it would have looked like, if you would have
Oh
done
yeah.
what would have happened after, you know, this, and what would have been, I mean, the fourth Superman movie was god awful. But that was Christopher Reeve's fault on that one.
Oh yeah. That one was rough.
He wanted
Was
to
it
push
masterpiece?
into that, pushing more of like that environmental type stuff, and it was just like nuclear and all this other crap. So it was
Yeah.
like, okay, we gotta have Power Man or Nuclear Man, whatever they called him.
It's a shame they never
They
got
have,
to do a crossover with Reeve and Keaton.
yeah,
That would have been
but they
cool.
have some villains that they could use for Superman. It's unreal that they don't go in and use those villains for Superman.
Yeah. I can't believe they haven't used like Brainiac in a movie yet.
I know, and that's the thing that I think they're doing. I think with this new Superman movie, I think they're bringing Brainiac into it.
Yeah, I've heard they might. I know that they had like
And
some set photos with like Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific and a bunch of other people.
Superman Lives.
That's an awesome shot.
The one with Tim Burton, the one that Tim Burton was supposed to do.
Oh yeah, with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that was the one that was the rumor that they were going to use Brainiac as the villain, but John Peters got his little grubby little hands in there and screwed around with the thing. He like, oh, Superman, we don't want him to fly, and we don't want him to do this, and we don't want him to do that,
Yeah.
and we want a polar bear and all this crap. And I just don't understand any of what John Peters wanted, but he wanted a giant spider, and he finally got his giant spider in Wild Wild West. I'm like, you're producing movies because you were somehow got to become a producer because you were Barbra Streisand's hairdresser. And the guy's just weird
That's
as it
awesome.
is. But yeah, they said he messed around with it and screwed it up, and they scrapped it, and that's why we ended up with Superman 5
Yeah.
with Roth. And I think that's why they
Cutting out a little bit. I would have liked to have seen Rock get one more shot. That movie had some great scenes in it, especially like the Gatling gun
they
scene where the bullet like hit his eye and stuff. It's crazy. Oh man, it's cutting out real bad. I can only hear like every other word.
Guy Roth that played Superman in Superman Returns.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have had Robin. Robin would have. But yeah, yeah, that's what they said. They said that it was, I guess where Batman or Superman in general was supposed would have has a rogues gallery of a few good villains that could make a good movie, but they don't use them. They go to Lex Luthor for everything.
Oh yeah.
And it's like Batman. It's like, whoa, we gotta have a new Joker. It's like, why? I don't want to see the Joker 50 times in every movie. You know, I don't want to see the Joker the same villains. You got other villains, use them.
Oh yeah. It was like that with the games too, man. The Arkham games. They brought Joker back like every time, even after
Yeah,
they killed him. It's crazy.
yeah. It's like they have villains they could use. I mean, there's a bunch of them. I mean, I understand that okay, we want to go with this and that, but you have some other stuff coming in with that Carmine family. You know,
Oh
you got
yeah.
to use him. You know, you got you got them. You got the two. I mean, that's what you could use all that stuff from like the great when they did Long Halloween. He was great in that. I wish they
Oh
would
yeah.
do the sequel in animated form, Dark Victory. I wish they would use the Dark Victory into an animated film.
That would be cool. I would
Just
still
that.
love to see one day
I just
a comic accurate Reign of Death and Reign of Superman movie with like all the characters that was in the comics with the Justice League crossover and everything. But I doubt we'll ever see that.
oh yeah, what was it? It was Super Friends. That's what they said. You probably won't see something like Super Friends where you use all those characters because
Yeah,
everybody's tied up in licensing and rights, and that's why we don't see the '82 cartoon of the Incredible Hulk. The
yeah,
Incredible Hulk cartoon from 1982 is because it's held up in rights issues with a publishing company that owns the rights to it that won't let it come out. Just like you won't get the the 66, not the 66 Batman, but the 66 Fantastic Four, the Hulk, Captain
Oh yeah.
America, and what was the other guy? The other one they did, Thor. All those cartoons with the crazy little jingle.
Oh yeah. That's like Sony's doing that to Marvel right now with I heard that every villain they use in their solo movies like Morbius, Venom, Carnage, Craven coming up, that they won't be able to use those villains with the MCU with Spider-Man. So it's crazy.
Yeah. I thought they were gonna do the third. I don't know about the Venom movie, the third one, but I thought the third one was supposed to have Spider-Man in it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're doing over there with Sony and Marvel and the war with like using the characters, but three Venom movies without Spider-Man it makes no sense.
Oh yeah, 'cause that's what I thought they were supposed to be doing was
Yeah,
bringing Spider-Man into the universe. That's what
yeah.
I thought they were doing was bringing Spider-Man into his universe. But like that Madam Web movie, was so bad.
Oh, I never did watch that one.
Oh, don't. If you don't
I
have
saw
to watch
I
it, I mean,
saw just a little bit of the second Venom movie, and
yeah,
I like the way they used Carnage in that made me so bad I couldn't finish watching it.
I know
They
the
just
Madam Web
totally
movie
messed up
was
the
so
Carnage
bad.
character.
Yeah, Madam Web was just like the beginning of it was all you had for the beginning part of that movie was the action. The action scenes happen in the very beginning. So basically, the origin of how she became, I guess, how she finds out she has powers later on. You find out at the very beginning of the movie is how she ends up getting the powers.
Uh,
And then basically after that, then it's like dull for like a whole movie until the main bad guy comes out and is like dreams up that he's gonna get killed. It's almost like what it reminded me of was the Spider-Man cartoon from the '90s where he went with Madam Web and he had to go in those alternate universes and bring in those alternate
oh
Spider
yeah,
to help him. That's what these people. That's what these people are. Is those alternate Spider-Men that somehow get powers at some point because that's what he dreams up. That he has a dream and he thinks these people are gonna kill him. And it's just like where's the and then it has like a fight scene where he tries to kill them before they get to him, before they get their powers or whatever.
yeah,
And she ends up finding out, and I guess whatever Madam Web's powers are, she can see the future or something. So she figures it out, I guess, or what happens before it happens. So she ends up saving them, I guess, and it just downhill from there. It's just like downhill from there. It's like they had a scene in like the train station down there in the train tunnel where they had like cops down there trying to capture her. She thought they were kidnapping the kid,
uh,
and she was trying to save her from that guy, but nobody saw him. And then all of a sudden, you see these cops just disappear, and it's like, okay, that's it, game over, movie over. You know, it's like there's your action. Didn't do anything for me. And then the next and at the end, it's like the ending's just terrible. I mean, it's just like typical of where are you building any? You're not building anything up for the whole entire movie. It's like maybe all of like the beginning 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes, and that's it. The rest of the movie's like just like dumb. It's
yeah.
like, but I
That's
understand
crazy
why they
because
canceled it. Why they canceled everything they had attached
yeah,
to it. You know?
they got so much like stories they could draw from the comics and really build like a Spider-Man universe, but they just don't seem to want to do it.
I know. I would have been more intent if she would have been in the Spider-Man movie, like her character be in the Spider-Man movie, and then you get this origin story of her. If you catch what I'm saying is that she, in the Spider-Man movie, you find out that you see her in the movie, like even if she was at the end of the movie, even if she was in just a few scenes and at the end, and then you see like a flashback of her flashing back to what happened, but it's like they just like went from like what her mother was doing in the jungle to finding this spider that gives the powers, I guess. And then there's like some mythological stuff going on there with some like, I guess there's like tree people or something they call them. I don't know what they actually call them, but they're like spider people that live in the trees
Huh.
or something like that. And it jumps from like there to where she's born in the beginning of the movie, and then 30 years later, you jump 30 years. You don't know what happened to her in 30 years, but she's doing whatever she's doing 30 years later, you know?
Right.
Working as an EMT, I think is what she was. With that guy, the actor Adam Scott. I don't know if you know him, if you've seen him.
I probably recognize him, but I don't like half the names. I just don't know.
Yeah, he does that commercial for the Razor commercial where he's talking about scaring he's getting like facial hair, like whatever, something about that. I don't even know.
I've probably seen it.
Yeah,
Good
scaring
stuff,
his
Alex.
something. Yeah, I guess he's in it and she's in it, but I don't find her much of a. I don't find her much of a villain, not a villain, but much of a superhero type person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dakota
Oh,
Johnson is not really somebody I would say strikes me as somebody who could play the role. I mean, you
yeah.
got a lot better actors out there, and you could have had a better story. I mean, that's what I think they lacked on. Is a lot of these Sony movies, they're just lacking on the Morbius. I heard was terrible. That's why I haven't watched it because I heard
Oh,
it was
yeah. I
so
haven't seen
terrible.
that.
My buddy
There's
went and
so
saw it.
many
He
that
said
I haven't
it
seen
wasn't.
yet. Haven't bothered to watch. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Sony just needs to just let Marvel do what they do.
I don't know if I don't even know if the Kramer movie came out yet or not. I'm not sure.
No, not yet. I think it was supposed to come out this year, but I don't know if it is or not. It's supposed to come out later this
Yeah.
year. So I know Venom already is out, and I know the other movie's supposed to come out. There's supposed to be that, which is dumb. I don't understand that. I was watching the Angry Video Game Nerd, and he was talking about the new Nosferatu movie coming out. I
I
guess
know, like,
it's the sequel. It's the remake of the remake. Is what it is. It's not even a remake of the original. It's a remake of the remake. So when they remade the movie at some point, they took that movie and remade that movie. And it's
I
not coming
remember
out
hearing
till
like
Christmas.
years ago that they wanted to do like a Universal Monsters shared universe, but it just
Oh yeah.
they did the first movie I think with Tom Cruise or whatever, and then it just kind of fell apart after that. They never did it.
Oh yeah, because it was they did the who they do? They did something, but yeah, Tom Cruise. That Mummy movie was so bad
Yeah.
that they ended up not doing what they planned to do.
I would love to see something like that if they could bring back the classics and just do because I used to love the old Frankenstein, the Bela Lugosi Dracula movie, the Mummy, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, the old Wolfman. It would be cool to see like those classics come back.
Oh yeah, they actually have who was it that did something? It was Oh, it's just like Bela Lugosi. He only did. Funny thing is he only played Dracula twice.
Really?
Yeah, and his Dracula is the very first portrayal that he did. They literally play him off as that's where everybody gets that spoof. They spoof off of him. They use the tropes that he used in the movie. So the way he talked, the way
Yeah.
he did things, that's how they ended up with him doing the. That's how they ended up with the movie, pretty much.
I saw not too
But
long
Christopher
ago. I
Reeve
saw
played
this
him the longest.
old
Christopher
still books
Oh,
with Dracula and Frankenstein and the Black Lagoon up at Walmart, but I couldn't pick them up.
yeah, I got those. I don't remember when I picked those up. I picked them up dirt cheap a few years ago. I picked them up at Best Buy. I think they had like a sale. This was probably
Oh,
about the time Best Buy started getting rid of DVDs, started
yeah.
doing away with DVDs. So they were like putting stuff on like holiday stuff on like discounts and stuff. So I bought all that stuff. I've got like the mummy, the mummy's hand, the mummy's curse or something. I got like
Yeah.
4 or 5 different mummy movies and
I know, yeah, Best Buy, man. That used to be like the go-to place for movies, and I went in there a couple weeks ago, and all they had was like TVs, phones, and computers. They hardly had any games. They had no movies. They didn't even have like a collectible section anymore. It's crazy.
uh, you know what the problem is with Best Buy, or what happened was this is like two companies that should have done what they would have done back then. They'd still be around today. Circuit City had the
Yeah.
opportunity to buy Best Buy and turned it down. Said, nope, we don't need Best Buy. We don't want it. Sorry. No. Same
Back in the
thing.
day, Circuit
Uh,
City was like where I got my very first DVD player back in my early 20s.
yeah, that's where my ex-wife used to go. She used to go up there. She told me, she said, yeah, Circuit City was where she'd buy her CDs because you couldn't buy CDs back in the day for less than like you were buying them for like $16, $19,
Yeah.
you know. And I was like, that's crazy, you know.
It's funny. I think it was either 1999 or 2000. I went up there and I bought a copy of The Matrix and the DVD player. That was like my first movie ever on DVD.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what I got on DVD, but I remember getting like a I don't remember what I got, but I ended up getting a like CDs. I don't think I had CDs up until like 94, I think. I don't think I had CDs till 94, and DVDs I don't think I had till later, like you said. But we used to go to a place in Georgia when I lived there. We went to in Alpharetta. There was a place called Media Play.
Oh yeah, I remember Media Play. We had one down here.
Yeah, and they ended up changing hands a few times, and Best Buy finally bought them and then shut them down eventually. But
Oh
that
yeah.
was a great place to go because if you went there, you could buy things that you couldn't buy at other stores. Like they had, like I bought the 3 scripts of the original Star Wars movie. I ended up selling them, I think, at some point.
Oh nice.
But I had those from the original trilogy of Star Wars. So I was like, man, I got copies of that. I got like on VHS. I got these movies. You know, the original screen on the original movies before they did the special effect one.
Oh yeah.
Before he did
They
special
changed it.
in '97 or whatever it was that he brought it out. And it was
Media
basically a way
Play.
to get people interested in it before he released episode 1 in '99, which was a piece of crap. I hate episode 1. I hate episode 2. Those are my
Yeah,
two least
Media
favorite.
Play where I used to get like most of my PlayStation 1 games back in the day. This was like before GameStop came around.
Yeah, because GameStop is originally
I think it was
Babbage.
Microplay or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But it's Babbage's or something like that.
Yeah.
You got a Micro Center over there in Charlotte now.
Oh,
That's
really?
a great place. Yeah, it's a great place for computer stuff if you ever go in there.
And then, like the only time I ever go to Charlotte is for like Heroes Con. So I've only been there twice in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, I went. I mean, I don't go to Charlotte that often. I think the only time I've been out there is for, yeah, like you said, 2 times for Heroes Con. One time for just going out there just for kicks. You
Yeah.
know, I went out there to Matthews because there's a comic book shop out in Matthews, and then there's a what else is out there? It's a Second and Charles is out there.
Oh, really? I didn't know we had one around here.
Yeah, there's a Second and Charles in Matthews. There's a Second and Charles in Fayetteville, and there's one in Jacksonville. And there's not much in Jacksonville. Outside of that, I mean, it's a boring ass place out there near Greenville.
I hope to get up. I hope to get up to Bonafide Comics Shop soon, at least within the next this month sometime.
Oh yeah, he said he's been busy, busy, busy. But yeah, I'm hoping that he's not doing the con that's on the 9th and 10th
Uh,
down in Durham. He's not doing the Durham con this year. He did it, I think, last year. Was it last year he did it, or the year before? I can't remember. He did it one of the years because he. The only reason why he did it is because the guy owed him money.
uh,
He got into the con. He paid the money, and then the guy basically decided, no, well, I don't know if we're going to do anything about it because COVID happened and he shut down the con. So he didn't know if he was going to reopen it. So he shut down the one in Raleigh and decided not to reopen the one in Raleigh. Then he did a mini con, and it went over so well, he decided to open up the con last year. And that's when they had Art Adams there. So I was like, oh, okay, Art Adams, great. I didn't have anything for Art Adams to sign or any of the other people because the year I went, they had a whole bunch of people there, you know. But Art Adams, this year they only have Eastman. And only reason Eastman's there is he's doing his 40th Ninja Turtle year tour. His tour of 40 years of Ninja Turtles.
That's pretty
that's
cool.
the only reason why he's there. So we don't have much to say about that, but he's going to be there. But and then they got Bernard Chang. I don't know if you know who Bernard Chang is.
I don't recognize the name, but I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, I don't know much about what he's done, but he's there. Tommy Lee Edwards lives around here somewhere, close by, so close to Durham. So he bought into the con a couple years ago. So he's a writer and all this stuff. So he basically goes to the cons and everything, you know. So he's always there. And then Jeremy Whitley, who lives in Durham, I think he still lives in Durham. He's there. He did that book Princeless, and then he did Fantastic Four's Future or something. He did the Fantastic Four book.
Oh, like Future Foundation.
Yeah, that's what he did. Yeah, he's the one who did that one. He did that one and something else he did. But yeah, he's done a bunch of stuff. But yeah, he's going to be there. But he's always there. But nobody I really wanted to see, and I didn't really want to go up there. You know, Jigs is supposed to go up there. So Jigs Comics is supposed to go up there and go to it. But I'm not interested. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested last time I went. I went, my buddy was supposed to go, and he didn't go. But my other friend, I ran into him there. And I think the only reason why he's going is because of Eastman being there.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much the only one I ever go to is the Heroes Con.
Yeah, it's about the only thing that I really around here go to anymore because I don't even go to the what is GalaxyCon now. I don't do GalaxyCon anymore because it's just became all that is to me is a pulp culture con
Oh yeah.
where you have people there that are not really creators. You have people there that are like TV stars, you know, and it's like, do I really care to go see these people?
Yeah.
I mean, and if it was a couple of people I really wanted to see, I would go see, but I'm not paying you $40 to get a picture with you or an autograph, you know?
Oh yeah. Some of them
And
are
I'm
crazy
paying,
for like TV stars.
yeah, and it's like some people are like, "Oh yeah, we really like this," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm not into the whole pictures and TV shows." I mean, I went up and saw a couple of artists there, and not the greatest people in the world, you know.
Yeah.
But I met Walt Simonson, greatest guy in the world. I met Louise, greatest person in the world. You know, I literally talked to her for 10 minutes and told her I said I love about the death of Superman. You know, and how
Oh yeah.
much that I've seen that documentary probably 20 or 30 times. You know, maybe more. You know,
I'm hoping some of those guys come down to Heroes. Like hopefully Dan Jurgens comes back. Uh, Brett Breeding was there, but I didn't get to meet him.
oh, I met him. I met him. He's $5 a signature.
Man, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he was $5 a signature. Rubenstein, I met him. He was hilarious. He said that him and the book I brought him was the wedding book, which I had
Oh
two of it, and I got one signed by Luis, and I got it verified by CBCS. Well, I decided I was going to try to get everybody who worked on it that's still alive to sign it. So I had another copy of it. So I thought I'll get everybody to sign it. And when I took it to Rubenstein, he goes, he goes, yeah, I remember this book. Yeah, they ended up bringing like 4 or 5 of us over to some warehouse somewhere and had us sign like hundreds of copies of this book. It
man,
was him and Jurgens and I think 3 other people. And he said all we did is sit there all day and just sign this book in a warehouse in Jersey. I was like, damn.
man.
But I didn't see the other guy I was looking for. I was trying to find Frank Cavilla, but I didn't find him.
Yeah.
And another guy that worked on the book, I didn't find him. But Bob McLeod's a great guy. I got him to sign my book, but I didn't
I
get
know.
the other guy.
I
And I was
need
trying to get who was the other guy? Um, oh crap, I can't think of the guy's name right offhand. No, not Roger. He was at Heroes Con 2 years ago, and he worked on Death of Superman. Oh, not Jerry. It was not Roger. Who was it? Well, it's gonna bug me now.
not
It's gonna
sure.
bug me. I don't. I'm trying to think of who the guy was.
I know I need to be
Oh,
more prepared next year because I didn't really look at the guest list to see who all was coming. I just knew
yeah.
like Jurgens was going to be there.
Oh yeah. He remembered the time that I talked to him. I said, I said, I remember when you came to Durham. He goes, yeah, 2 coldest days ever.
Yeah.
He remembered it.
No, I definitely need to like take some more stuff to get signed
Yeah,
because
I got
the
him to sign stuff there. I got Ron Mars to sign stuff when I was there in Durham
oh nice.
at that time. I got Gail Simone to sign some stuff,
And
and
the only thing I
and
got
I didn't even
signed was
talk.
that art print back there.
Yeah, I can't remember who was there. Who was it?
I hope Jenny Frison comes back because I got some books I would like to get signed.
Yeah, she didn't have much at her booth because I saw her. Actually, I didn't see her. She wasn't there at her booth there at this year at the Heroes Con. She didn't have a whole lot of nothing too, but she didn't have. She wasn't at her booth when I went to C2E2.
Oh yeah.
Because I was trying to get something for Magic Lasso. He wanted to get a. I guess she did a comic cover of Wonder Woman, and I guess he wanted the comic, but she turned it into an art print. But he didn't want the print; he wanted the comic if she was selling it. But she wasn't even there. She wasn't going to be there for like an hour,
Oh man.
so she wasn't coming till 12 o'clock. So I was like, I'm not sitting around waiting around for her to show up. So I ran into Dan Parent, the guy that does Archie, and I got him to. I bought a original piece of art from him, original page art. It was a cover for one of the books. So I bought that from him for 100. Got some other books signed. Got some other stuff, bought some stuff from him before. So I got that, got him to sign that and talked to him for a few minutes and that. But yeah, I've met him 3 times. But the first time my no, it wasn't that. It was the funny thing about Jurgens was that my ex-wife asked him, said, "Yeah, the only thing I know is you're one of the guys that killed Superman." He goes, "We also brought him back alive." that was his thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
Ron Mars was cool. We didn't even talk comics. Ron Mars basically my wife, my ex-wife, and me. Basically, I brought him this book he did with this football player, ex-football player now, but he was a football player for the Chicago Bears,
Oh.
and started this comic book. So he started this comic book team or whatever, and he did it with it was him and Brett Sears. Sears did the interior work, and he wrote it for him, and it was his concept basically. So he came up with the characters and the concept, and Ryan put it to and those two put it together. So I brought that book and got him to sign it. He goes, "Yeah, I never hardly ever see this," and I was like, "Yeah, I remember hearing about it and that." So got on the guy's website and I bought it because I remember seeing him on the Toy Hunter. He was on the Toy Hunter show when he played for Detroit because he was trying to get the Toy Hunter to help him. He wanted to make a toy line and all this stuff. So I don't know how all that the comic ever made it or whatever. I only got a couple of issues. So got him to sign it. All we talked about was football. That's all we talked about. He's a Dallas Cowboy fan, and we were just talking away about football. For about a half hour, we talked football. We didn't even talk anything comic related. We just talked football.
Man, that's pretty cool though.
And the funny thing is that she actually got to talk to um um who was it? That was Gail Simone's husband. She actually got to talk to him because we we were wearing at the time we were wearing Weird Al shirts.
Oh.
So we had gone to the concert and we bought shirts for Weird Al, so we were wearing those. Or I think she was. I don't remember if I was wearing one. I can't remember. But she was wearing one, and she ended up talking to him, and I guess they had actually got to go backstage
Well, that's
and
cool.
the concert. So when they went to see him, they actually got to go backstage and everything, and it was pretty cool. And that, and she was talking to him while I was getting my stuff signed. I actually got my Batgirl signed, that story arc or whatever, the one where she had to hunt her brother down or whatever for the
Oh
new
yeah.
52. Yeah,
Is
the one where her brother was the
Dark
bad guy.
Side?
I forget. I forget which issues they were, but I got those signed, and then I think I AOK'd those. I think eventually, I think I AOK'd those Fuchsia. I gave
Oh,
them
that's
to
cool.
her, so yeah, she ended up getting those. So in that, but yeah, not very many people. I've seen so many people in that, but yeah, the worst people are like Adam Hughes is a dick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like one of those people that just sits there and just like don't ever mention anything. I guess it's like you come up there for the book, you're ready to hand him the book, and it's like, oh, nice dog you have over there. All she said was, nice dog you have over there. All he had to say was, thank you very much. You know, all he had to do was say something nice about it. He just stared at me like, do you want your book signed or not? Like, hand me the book. So I'm like, okay, here's my 900. It was Action Comics 900, the variant where he's breaking the chains,
Yeah,
where it says 900 in the chains, and he's busting those out. I
that's a
got
cool
that
variant.
signed, and he just looked at me like I was dumb, like I was stupid, like I want this. You want this signed or not? You know, that's what he
Yeah,
just
it's
looked at
crazy
me
when
like.
you meet
Like,
people and they're like
man,
that.
yeah. And I was like, okay, whatever. But David Finch is the greatest person around. David Finch is great. I met him, and I actually went to his table twice. The first day I went by myself. I got the book signed and everything, and then the second day I actually got my picture taken with him,
Oh, that's
and I
cool.
got the print. I bought the art print of his Batman 700, his cover he did for 700. So I got that one in an art print on my wall. I got all kinds of crap on the wall. And I met Don Rosa. He's the greatest guy in the world. If at Heroes Con a couple years ago, I met Don Rosa 2 years ago. Got 3 prints from him, or four. I think I got four because I think it was a deal. I think if you bought four, you got for four for so much or whatever. So I ended up buying four of those, and I got those print. I got those put in frames, except for one of them. I think I need to frame one. I got him to sign that, and then I got I still can't remember who that friggin' guy was. It wasn't. It was a writer, I believe. It wasn't Orway. It was the other guy. It wasn't Jerry Orway, because Orway, I don't think he does cons anymore, and I don't think it wasn't Tom Grummett, because Grummett doesn't do. I don't think I've ever seen him at Heroes Con. So that's gonna bug the piss out of me. But I couldn't find the guy. So to tell you the
Yeah,
truth, I couldn't find him. I walked up and down the damn row he was supposed to be on, never found him. So that tells you how much I know. And I couldn't find a couple other people last year, so I walked around like a dummy. I couldn't even find Bonafide. I couldn't even find Andy in his booth. I
oh yeah.
couldn't find. Yeah, because he moved where his booth was. He said, "You just come down here," and I'm like looking around, like, "Where did booth go?"
Yeah, it took me a minute to find them last year.
Yeah, and it was like what you had, and I think he's made up with Daryl. I think.
Yeah, I saw a video where he bought a couple books from him, not about a month or two ago, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, him and Daryl made up. I don't know what happened. It's something about the hotel, and I think it had to do more with Ricky and that. So that's what I think the whole gist of it
Yeah,
was the hotel that they basically didn't include him in, and he wasn't staying there or something. So I don't know. I don't know much about it, but yeah, you know how it goes. And he wouldn't even come over to see me because I was over there at the time. I think he ended up seeing you. I think it's where you got that picture with him.
Yeah, I think so.
That was the same time. I think that's when he said because I didn't know he was there because I heard he wasn't coming. Because I had asked him if he was coming, and he said, "No, I'm not coming." But I guess he came because there was a what do you call it? A disc golf tournament or something that was going
Oh
on,
yeah,
and I think that was the only reason why he was there is because he was working that or doing something with that. Had something to do with that. Like I don't know if it was like some kind of like world championships or something or other. It was like one of their majors or something for them. Something going on in Charlotte there. So he was there for that, and I think that's why he came to Heroes Con. But to me, so you're there, but you don't tell me you're coming. You
yeah,
don't text. You don't basically tell me, text me, or even leave a message on Instagram that you're coming. Like, hey, I'm gonna be there. Maybe we can meet up. If you're there. Nah, nothing.
just showed up.
Just showed up and wouldn't come over there to talk because I was over there by Andy.
Yeah, I spent most of the con at his booth, just going through the boxes.
Oh yeah, that's what I did. I did that 2 years ago. I sat there mostly at his booth and with and we stuck around there because Ricky was there and Billy was there and I mean he had all kinds of people there. But this year Billy couldn't make it. Ricky had to work and Daryl wasn't coming because he was mad at him for whatever
Yeah,
reason. Was mad at everybody about the year before. So I was like, I wasn't even there, so I don't even know why I'm involved. Why you won't talk to me? Because I guess, yeah. But yeah, he said, yeah. And then the funny thing is that I sold the books, my Fantastic Four collection, to Andy, and I asked because I know Daryl was looking for some books. I said, I got them. Do you want them? Okay. I was going to cut him a great deal on the books. Well, lo and behold, he goes, nah. He decides he wants to wait. So I go and sell them to Andy and sell him the whole collection. Andy tells me, he goes, and I said, yeah, I know. He bought those books from you that I ended up selling you that I tried to sell him. And he goes, yeah, and he paid more. He probably ended up paying more. I asked, I said, so he probably upcharged. He probably paid more than what he was probably going to get from me. He goes,
yeah,
yeah. So, I mean, it was stupid. It was like, why not just buy the books from me and just do it that way? And you still get the books cheaper than you did from Andy. You know, I just don't understand people.
yeah.
Some people just don't know what they're doing, I guess. But it's just the way people are some days.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like all these books. I mean, I could have had, I mean, I don't know how many books, I don't know how many books you have, but I would have had, I mean, if you would have kept your original collection, like I say, I would have had 8,000 books, you
Oh yeah,
know, and I don't have room for 8,000 books to sit around the house.
I know.
It's like, to me, it's
Yeah,
like,
these
now it's like, I don't even know how many video games I've got. I got a whole bunch.
those 5 boxes back there are going to my nephew when he can come pick them up.
Yeah.
He went to Heroes Con with me last year and the year before last, and he's really starting to get into that. He's excited to go back this year, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
hook him up with those 5 boxes back there to jumpstart his collection.
That's good because yeah, what kind of books is he into?
Oh man, it's like everything.
Sort
It's
of
not
like
like I was when I first started.
yeah, same thing I was. I was the same way. When I first started, I was mostly between Marvel and DC. It was like I had a little bit of everything, and that I made. And then those you buy those 10 packs
Oh yeah.
that are random comics that I think sometimes Walmart used to carry them, but they don't anymore. But Ollie's does.
Yeah. Ollie's, they
They
always
get
have a
so
ton of
often. They'll get
variety up
those.
there.
Yeah, there's those, and there's just a variety of junk, in there, and most of it's like crap that I guess nobody wanted at the time.
Yeah.
And then you buy those. I bought like that starter set, like I was like a deal on what was, I don't know if it's a thing anymore, Groupon. There was a Groupon thing where you could buy like 50 comics, random comics for like 20, like $30 or something, and then you get, it's like 49.99, and then you get like the Groupon thing knocks it down to 39, from 39.99 down to 29.99 for 50 comics.
Yeah.
And I bought a couple of those, and that's how I end up with random crap. I end up with a bunch of random stuff that I wasn't really into. From like, I ended up with stuff from like Malibu, Top,
Uh,
Pacific, all that crap. Early Image. I think I had the Roach. I think I had the book called The Roach. I don't even remember that. I don't even remember what that was about. Wasn't something I think I even read. I had stuff from Chaos, Evil Ernie. I bought that off of a kid back when I was in high school.
I know, like
Marty.
outside of DC and Marvel back in the day, the only thing I ever really got into and read was like Spawn. I read
Yeah.
some Gen 13 back in the day, a little bit of Witchblade and Darkness, but other than that, it was pretty much just all Marvel and DC.
No Wildcats for you.
No, I never really got into Wildcats. I
I think
like the only character I remember from that is like Grifter, I think his name was,
yeah, yeah. I didn't
and
get into
I
much
don't
of
remember the
nothing.
other characters' names.
Yeah, I think the only thing I remember getting into was when I did when I did, most of my stuff was basically like Spider-Man was my main thing. So when I was collecting stuff, I was buying Spider-Man stuff. So I'd buy Spider-Man stuff more than I did like Action Comics. Like when I was getting Action Comics and stuff, the only reason I bought Action Comics, I heard, oh, Action Comics, all the different books. I bought them all for the death of Superman because I was like,
Oh
Superman's
yeah,
gonna die. Because I was mostly a Marvel guy before that. My grandparents bought me a few comics here and there. And I had a few books here and there. So nothing that was like, I didn't collect like every month. I didn't go out and buy everything
oh,
every month. I would buy it like, so I'd have like Superman 500, and I'd buy two copies of that, one to read and one to keep. That's how I was. I had the die cut covers. Probably got I probably got a set grade autographed and a set that's not autographed.
oh yeah. I
Oh,
know,
I
like when
got
I started collecting, like the whole first year was pretty much just Superman related books. Then I
yeah,
started watching like the Batman animated series, Spider-Man animated series, X-Men animated series, and those got me into Marvel comics.
yeah,
So I started going
yeah.
over there
I
and
was
collecting
Spider Man.
books.
Yeah, because I remember watching. If I don't know if you remember, but I remember watching when I was a kid, watching Spider Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah,
I watched
I think
that show.
didn't 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 they have like Iceman and Firestar or something?
Yeah, Firestar,
Yeah,
Iceman, Firestar.
yeah.
Yeah, I watched that, and I watched the Spider Man show from 1967 to 1970. The one with the Spider-Man song. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, do whatever a spider can. That was the one I watched because in repeats because when I was homesick, the local repeat channels would replay those cartoons. So I would watch those things like that. So I would get to watching them. And now I own it because I bought it at Best Buy.
Oh yeah.
Everything comes by, it seems like. But I bought it at Best Buy because I saw it there and I bought it. And I'm like watching this and I'm going back. I'm like, yeah, they ran out of ideas. By the time they got to season 3, they ran out of ideas. Because it was like these guys must have been on drugs or something because some of these ideas that they're coming up with are just like lost causes. They've ran out of villains. I guess they ran out of how many villains they could use or how many times they could reuse the villain.
Yeah, probably.
So it's like, so you end up with all these different things. But Spider-Man had great villains. I always liked Spider-Man's Rogues
Oh
Gallery.
yeah.
Superman,
Yeah, a
not so
favorite of
much.
mine is
Superman
always
only
been
had
Green Goblin.
Yeah, I'm always like the oddball when it comes to like Batman villains. If you ask me about Batman villains, I'm not typically the typical Batman villain. Like everybody would say, like you would get people like go Riddler, Penguin, Joker, Scarecrow, um, Bane,
Yeah.
Catwoman, stuff like that. The main ones. The ones you see all the time. I'm more of like the oddball guy.
Like Calendar Man,
Yeah, I'm
uh
Calendar
Condiment
Man,
King.
um, Crazy Quilt,
Yeah.
Calendar Man, Mad Hatter, the ventriloquist.
Oh yeah.
People like that. Oddball guy. Solomon Grundy.
Oh yeah, that's a cool character.
Those kind of villains. I'm like the oddball. I'm like always the oddball. Superman not so much because Superman really doesn't. I mean, really and truly, Superman really doesn't have anybody except for that I really besides Brainiac. Because I'm sick of Luthor. I'm so sick
Oh
of
yeah.
every story has to have Luthor in it. Like you had the best Superman book that I have is the same book if you look at it and take that book, take Amazing Spider-Man 50, put those two books together, and you basically have the same concept, but one came out before the other one did.
Oh yeah.
So
50.
they
That was
copied the other.
Kingpin, right?
It was the Kingpin, but the whole gist of that story was was that Spider-Man quit. Spider-Man quit being
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man. Same thing that Superman did. Superman stopped being Superman. He quit being Superman. He decided he wasn't going to be Superman anymore. Superman no more. That was the Spider-Man no more. That was the whole storyline. It was just one came out a couple months before the other one did, and they put the story out. So I don't know if they copied it or they already had it in the works to do something or they already knew. But yeah, that was the way they did things back then. It was just
Oh yeah.
hilarious. Spider-Man was just hilarious. Way. I just laugh at it. It's just so funny how Spider-Man and Superman copied each other. I was like, but that was issue 201, I think, of Superman.
Oh yeah, I've
I
got
think
that.
that's the
I've
issue
got
number.
those.
And then the issue, if you ever watch Superman, the cartoon,
Yeah.
or was it Justice League? I think it's a Justice League cartoon.
Yeah, I used to watch all those. Oh, I think I lost you. Screen went black. All right, some technical difficulties here. It's been over an hour, so I should probably end the stream soon. I will do a quick recap of the AOK for people that came in and didn't see the start. Get this awesome animation cell here. This awesome hardcover of Batman 89 and Superman 78. And this awesome Silver Age Action Comics issue 296, it looks like. Yeah, I lost Mr. Gretzky, but there's a quick recap of the AOK for anybody that missed it at the start. And I guess I'll go ahead and bring this thing to an end. Appreciate everybody that hung out in the chat, and thank you again to Mr. Gretzky. It was super generous AOK. It was awesome, brother. And I appreciate the chat and hanging out. And I'll catch you guys next time. Keep it 9,000. I'll try not to wait 3 months for another stream.